What's going on? So, basically, I just want to touch base on the power of having healthy relationships, establishing them, nurturing them, and watching them blossom into something so beautiful. But relationships, to me, are the most valuable thing that a human can possess in general. More valuable than money, more valuable than knowledge. Because depending on who you know can determine your life and lifestyle, right? Because we are influenced by those around us, either negatively or positively. So, what I want to introduce is ways of actually withholding a healthy relationship. Okay? So here's the thing. The first thing I feel like is necessary for a relationship to be able to flourish is trust. Now, that's a very difficult concept because most people are already taught not to trust anyone. We're instantly put in a situation where anything foreign is not to be trusted. Anything that's strange, anything that's different is not to be trusted. However, here's the thing, right? Until you give something, right, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to receive it. Outside of luck, of course. You may just be a lucky person and be on a lucky streak, and fortune just smile upon you during this journey. But any normal, like any average person, they're gonna realize instantly that shit is just, you need trust to establish a relationship. You're with someone you can't trust, then you're gonna always be worried. And me personally, I'm gonna speak from my personal experience. If I can't trust you, then it's like, first of all, you don't even want to be in the presence, right? But then second, it's like it'll get to the point where you're like, standoffish, to say the least. But anyways, that's the first phase. That's the first point of establishment. That should always be set. Alright, the next thing is being able to have a space of communication. Alright, because sometimes we can communicate with each other, but it's not always a healthy space of communication. And so because of it, there can be miscommunication between us and people that we care about, right? So that's another thing you really want to be mindful of when it comes to that. And then the third thing I would say, so these are just skills that I feel like you should have prior to engaging, right? But the third thing I would say is a sense of like self-identity, right? Because without it, it will also make things just as difficult, right? Because you need to be able to trust, but all of these things happen first internally before it can be external, right? So you gotta trust yourself and then trust others, right? You gotta communicate with yourself. Granted, in America, people tell you it's crazy to talk to yourself, it's crazy to be in your head, it's crazy, whatever. I'm here to tell you that shit is cap. Alright, you communicating with yourself is probably one of the most healthy things you could possibly do. Why? Because you know that you're not gonna lie to you. You know that you're not gonna betray you. It's a one person that you can guarantee shit is gonna be official, no matter what the fuck happens. So you definitely want to have that established as soon as possible. You know, being able to have that inner communication, that inner trust, and then personal identity, man. Because you can trust yourself and be able to communicate, right? But if you don't know who you are, then you can't be present in any situation because you're not fully there. You know, you're just like partially there. There's always going to be a part you still left out of the equation, right? Which is another thing I've done several fucking times. Okay, but for the establishment of a healthy relationship, this is more so what you want to do. You want to be in a space where you have knowledge of self, you know, you understand trust and communication, you know, and then from there, you know, that's going to lead to everything else as far as goal setting, as far as whatever else, you know, planning, event setting, all that stuff. That's going to come from it because there's a healthy space being established. But without that healthy space being established, what happens is you're going to lead yourself into chaos, right? We want to avoid that by any means. Okay? So, with that being said, love yourself, trust yourself, communicate with yourself, know yourself, and then do the same thing for others. Right? Love other people, trust other people, communicate with other people, and know other people besides yourself. What that means is like, you gotta realize everyone has a story, right? So when you project your story, you'll be able to receive someone else's story too. When you project your pain, you'll be able to receive someone else's pain too. Whenever the information, know the other person the same way you know yourself, and when you feel away, notice how they feel away. You gotta just be mindful of certain things. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with.